to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you very much for coming on my show and bringing me salsa.
Oh, of course. Well, that's our favorite.
Yes, and we appreciate you over the years sponsoring the show. And tell us what's been going on lately, because you guys had COVID, which was like pretty challenging, at your location, because everything kind of was slowed down a little bit. And now things are a little bit more back in full swing, full events. What are some of the events you guys have going on at your location in Tower District?
Well, everything is back in full swing. You can eat in the restaurants. We can have our nightclubs going again, late at night. So we have a DJ, like karaoke on Tuesday, Thursdays dancing, Friday and Saturdays dancing. So, that's all back in full swing.
That's cool. And then if we want to book events, you guys also do like private parties, right?
Yes, we can do private parties. We can have certain times of the day the restaurant is slow. We can corner off an area in the Tower District or other locations. We have that available. And, Lucy's is not open during the day, which I own, so you can use that facility too.
Oh, that's really good to know.
Rehearsals, funerals, things like that, yeah.
That's really good to know. And the salsa's in full swing. How many different flavors are there currently?
Well, we have like about 6. This is only 3 of them today. I just didn't have the other ones available, so. But we have a guacamole salsa. We have a verde salsa. We call it a regular medium salsa. And we have a mild salsa, which is like the medium, but just mild. And then we have a hotter one of the salsa on the red. So it's just hotter.
Is that one of the hottest ones?
Yeah, it's pretty warm. Plus the verde one is pretty warm. It's got a good bite to it.
And the coolest thing that I've seen this year come out of Bobby Salazar's is the car, that wrapped car that you have that was at the rodeo. So when did you guys get the Bobby Salazar salsa car? That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a new thing I came up with. I've been wanting a Dodge Challenger. It's a Demon. It's kind of a rare car. And I thought it'd be cool to have. It sounds really hot and, just a good roar to it. So people see that. And I thought about making it like a stock car, racing car. And just, it's good. We put it in parades and events around the city, around the valley, which we've been going to, and people see that. So it looks pretty cool.
I love that, because I was at the rodeo and everybody wanted to take a photo with it. That was like the big attraction.
Right.
Everybody saw that car.
Yeah, they're climbing all over it. Yeah. So I'm like, stay off the car, but.
Hey, so how do we book that car for events?
Well, just call me. What's the event? And we'll bring it down for car shows. And when we're going to bring that car over to an event, we're going to give out free chips and salsa with it. So. That's the promoting part of it.
You get the car and the salsa.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of the salsa, where are we now? I know we're all over California, Vegas. Tell us the different locations. I know we talk about in every show, actually. It pops up. Where are some of the places that we're currently at?
Well, locally, we have every store in Fresno, all the big chains, the Save Marts, the Vons, Target, Walmart, Food for Less,
Costco,
Food Max, Costco, of course, grocery outlet, and a lot of independent stores around the valley here. And then, in the Bay Area, we have all the Safeways throughout, from here to Oregon, actually, all the Safeways. There's Albertsons, there's a Winco's locally and over there. So, and then in Southern California, we're in Vons over there, Pavilions, and the grocery outlets, and Walmart throughout Southern California. So those are, it's a big deal for us.
And then how did you get in like all these other states? Because there's also Nevada, there's...
So yes, you go into Nevada, then we have the Safeway. If there's a Safeway there, we're in that, and a Winco, and a Food Max.
And Walmart, yeah.
And a Walmart. So, Walmart's a big thing for us nationally that we've got into. So they're distributing to all the Walmarts.
Really?
Yeah. So we just reached into Texas with Walmart. So like around Dallas area, all that area within like a 200-mile radius, any Walmart around Dallas area. There's a lot of little towns, a lot of Walmarts, so we're in there. If you know people in those areas, Go to Walmart. We're getting involved with the Dallas Cowboys over there in a promotion with their team, and they're a lot of organizations that they're involved with. So
how fun!
Yeah.
Wow, this is really spreading. And who came up with the recipe? Can you tell us? You don't have to give us the recipe, but tell us how you came up. Who came up with it, and when did it get like perfected into what we know of it today?
Well, all our recipes, I come up with them basically.
Really?
You know, I pretty much, yeah. I like this. Let's try this together. Put this together with my people in my factory. I got a couple of main cooks, and then we just start toying with it, and you know that's how we do it, and just come up with different flavors.
Wow, so you've had to eat a lot of salsa over time.
yeah, a lot of tasting going on. So yeah.
So do we ever have anything new coming out eventually, like, or
you know, I don't know. It's you never know. I mean, I see something out there in the store. I like the flavor of it. If I can, you know, somehow I like that, you know. And if not, we're not doing something similar to that, then you know we'll try to produce that. So yeah, but you know we do. You know, other bulk food, you know, salsa is the only one in the retail market, but, you know, we make chili verde and beans and enchilada sauce and stuff like that that people can buy from us.
Oh, wow. We need to go on a tour of the factory. Do you guys give tours of that?
Yeah, we could do that. That would be fun to do. Maybe on another segment, obviously. So
right.
we can plan something.
That would be really interesting because I've never been to a salsa factory. So that'd be really cool to see what goes into it. And then, is it hard to like sell before the expiration date? Like, how does that work? Do you have to every time you have to go and refill and reload? Well,
you know, to be a player in the market that we do, you know, it's our salsa does have preservative, and like I said, to go nationally, we have to have like a 60-day shelf life. And so the key to be able to do that and make it taste good is, you know, very intricate. So we have to find a way, and it's very limited in what we put in it. It's only like 2 ingredients, and as you can tell, you taste our salsa, it tastes great.
Oh yeah, it's always fresh, and then it's keto friendly.
Yes, it's keto friendly, and it's gluten free.
And gluten free. So yeah, you've covered all the variables. So what was really cool, and I'm so happy I got to be a part of it, is when you had the Project Hope event at Bobby Salazar's with Danny Trejo, Concrete the comedian. How'd you get involved with all of that?
We had been talking to some people in Southern California, and somehow with these comedians, you know, because they help promote our salsa down in Southern California. And Danny Trejo's name came up because this guy was a really good friend of Danny Trejo's. And if we wanted to get involved with this project named Project Hope of California, where he's helping people out and, you know, migrants and all that kind of thing. And he was going to be in Fresno, in Selma, actually, doing an event down there. And so we got involved and helped sponsor it, and then we asked them if they would like to come to the Tower District after that day. It was on a Friday or Thursday, was it?
Friday.
It was a Friday. And we said, hey, you know, why don't you come to Bobby's in the Tower? We're going to host you and feed you dinner, and you know, after your long day over here. And they were welcome. They were like, oh yeah, sure. I said, well, it helped that I sent a limo for them, you know, and picked them all up. So they were like, yeah, we'll go, you know. So, and that's how that kind of happened. And Danny had a great time, and you got to meet Danny and gave him a great interview. And
they were really down to earth, too.
Oh, yeah, they were fine. And Danny's a big supporter of our salsa, loves our salsa, and helps promote it down in Los Angeles. And, you know, he's got his own little taco shop down there and makes tacos and donuts down there. He's got a donut shop, and
that's so cool. And you guys know some mutual people, so you're gonna be seeing them in the future, huh?
Oh yeah, we're doing some other stuff coming up in August in Los Angeles with him. So
well, that makes sense because you guys both do a lot of community outreach, community events, and you, besides me, you sponsor a lot of people around here, aren't? And you're sponsoring some girl that does boxing.
Yes, we're involved with some up and coming UFC fighters. You know, these kids are starting out young, 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. So you know, we help along the way with them, and they help promote Bobby Salazar's and our salsa. So yeah. Well,
thank you so much for all you do for the community.
No, thank you. You're welcome.
Anything cool coming on at Bobby Salazar's? Any big events that we should know of? I know you just had a Pride Parade earlier in the month. What else is going on?
What's coming up? Well, every holiday, 4th of July, we'll be having our big 4th of July all weekend. Come out to Bobby's, and we've got specials. We're decorating 4th of July stuff. People.
Are there fireworks in Tower that we could see at any point?
No,
Or not really.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
I don't know if there's a place you could see them, even though they're not there.
Right.
But.
No, but just come in. Actually, our Tower location and other locations. I mean, I'm mostly in the Tower District, but we keep it very nice and cool in there. I mean, you walk in, it's like under 70 degrees, and you're going to be just like, oh, so cooled off.
That's where I'm going to be, wherever it's under.
And want a nice, cool drink. So, But yeah.
No, that's great. And so, how is the other businesses doing there? I know they opened up some new nightclubs. Are a lot of people coming in? You're getting a lot of more foot traffic too with all of that.
Yeah. So the Tower District location, there's several other places to go and hang out and have drinks at, and nightclub later in the evening. So it really has become a focus down there. People
and it's all walkable. You can walk from one to the next. So it's like,
Yeah, just park somewhere and just, go and bar hop down in the Tower District. It's a great place to go.
And you're the only one with really that has the late night food that we can get to. I think right? Because it's always just drinks, I think, at all those clubs.
Yeah, everybody closes pretty early. We're open a little later. Then we put our taco truck outside. So
really? For the late night?
Yeah, if you're walking around, it's 11 o'clock. You can,
Right. Hey, that's really good. No, we need our late night food.
Correct.
And so, what else is going on? So, Lucy's Lounge. Any events going on there? You have great music. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Lucy's Lounge is it's an upscale lounge. Craft cocktails that we do there. We do a lot of jazz and blues music, and just fun music. So it caters to a more elite crowd of people. More just people laid back, and a little older crowd. So it's fun, And then we're hooked up with Mamma Mia's Pizza, so they do all the food.
And they go pretty late too with the food.
Yeah,
too.
they go late too, and so they have wonderful food, pizzas all night. So yeah, it's a fun time.
And that's every night, pretty much. That there's music, even on Monday nights, right?
Yeah, Monday, from a happy hour, we started like 5:36, and for 2 hours, there's a guy playing some music there, and happy hour.
I think he's been here, Ted Nunes.
Yeah,
he's been here.
He's one of our guys. I mean, there's Brian Richburg. There's I can't even name the guys, but there's so many of them. But yeah, you come in there and get a nice glass of wine if that's what you're into. We've got wine by the glass. It's very, very good wine too. It's fresh, and craft cocktails, and get your Manhattans and your old fashions there at Lucy's.
So you go there when you want the lounge vibe, and then when you want more the nightclub vibe, you go to Bobby Salazar.
Yeah, so it's quieter at Lucy's. If you want a little louder, more going on, you can go to Bobby's and hear the jukebox going, and a little louder.
And you guys play all the games there.
Yeah, so at Bobby's we have the MLB package. You can watch any baseball game there that you're into. And when it's basketball, we have the NBA package. Football, we have the NFL package. So you come year round and watch any team you want to, sport you want to play.
Now, one of my favorite things is the party tray with all those taquitos and the quesadillas and all of that. So that's kind of always around. If someone's having a party, they can go. They can call as early as possible, but try to get there. And
well, so yeah, our party trays are, we've started the party tray. That I started it like 25 years ago, and I'm like, why can't we serve food on a big tray, different foods, and people can take them home, or they have a party, because nobody was doing that. And we started, I would say we're the grandfather of that, and it's taken off. Now you got a lot of other companies doing the same thing, and everybody has their version, but we're still number one. You can call us and, hey, we need the variety tray. It has little taquitos and little burritos and quesadilla wedges and guacamole, and we can have that ready for you in 20 minutes.
That's what I love about it. I love the last minuteness of it, because unfortunately, this is that kind of world where all last minute we're like, oh my God, the food, or I should bring something to this party.
Yeah.
As if we could just kind of head over there and then.
Yeah, you could call us and say, hey, can I have some,
And you even offer that at the little locations, right? At the Tucker.
Yeah, some of them do.
Can you explain a little bit on that? People are always asking me what the difference is between those and like the restaurants.
What, like the one in the mini marts?
Yeah,
is that what you're
or like,
about?
okay, there's one on Fowler and Herndon. There's like the.
Well, that's a regular taqueria like I have at the Tower District. So that has a full menu. You can get your party trays there. spur of the moment, anything. You just, go in and get takeout, or you can eat it there. But we've got the full menu there. But
it's all kind of the same food that you have at all the locations.
Oh, it
It's
is,
just a smaller version without the full bar.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
That's the difference between those, right? Okay.
That one just doesn't have a bar, but you can go in and spur of the moment and get a party tray, take it to your event, or you go into a baby shower or something like that. Come in and get a Bobby's party tray. Very popular, and for the 4th of July, so those are great to get. You can, I think we'll be open until like 3 o'clock that day. So come in and get your party trays and then go out and hang out at the pool,
I know, that's the way to do it. I never really go to a pool party without seeing one of these and get the salsa.
Okay.
Which one's your favorite?
Get your salsa. God, I like them all, but I'm partial to, I like the verde one.
The green one?
It's really good, and the guacamole one.
This one.
And the red one. They're all good. Just depends what kind of
So this is
flavor.
your favorite. This is a hot one, huh?
It's a little spicier. It's made with tomatillos and jalapenos and little tomato in there, and obviously onions and spices. So yeah, it's very good. Very tasty.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my show. And then I guess we will keep up with the social media. We have a Bobby Salazar salsa page, and then also the different location pages. So
no, I appreciate you helping out and all the promoting you help us do for that. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you supporting the show. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And in a new studio, too.
Yeah, this is beautiful. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Thank you.
Okay, Kristin, tell everyone what you do, because you're like a pro golfer.
Yes. So basically, I've been a student athlete my whole life, and I just graduated with my master's in business. And
From where?
Fresno State. And I've been playing golf competitively since I was about 16, and now I'm taking it to the next level this year. And this is my first season playing pro golf. So I'm very excited, a little nervous, but I'm very driven, and I work hard to make it all come together.
And when you were 16, you started for like the first time?
No, so that was when competition was more. I was actively playing competition.
So you started golf way younger.
Yeah, I was about 6 when I started.
What made you get into that?
So I have a sister who is 6 years older than me, and I kind of started off following her footsteps. So since I could walk, or before I could walk, I was actually at the golf course, just kind of watching her, and I just kind of naturally started playing, and I was doing all kinds of sports actually until I was 16. And then
that was a focus.
I happened to be really good at golf, and then I was like, okay, I want to do this, and I was on the national team for Norway as an amateur.
And is that where you're from?
Norway, yes. Sorry, I forgot. I've been in Fresno for so long. I kind of feel like it's home.
Your accent is so faint. No one can even. That's what I was like. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in Fresno since 2016. That was when I was recruited over here to play for Fresno State, which is a Division I school. So I'm very blessed and thankful for that opportunity because it has given me so many connections. And now just moving on to this next step, it's been a good preparation. Just, you know, as a college student, you go through all kinds of things, right? There's school and then there's a sport on the side, and it's hard to always be like on top on both parts, right? But as a scholar athlete, you have to do really well all the time. So now I think that's what I'm most excited about this journey now, is that I don't have school anymore. I'm done. I can just kind of focus on golf 100% and yeah, just give it all, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a great story.
Yeah.
And you guys do a lot for charity, isn't a lot? Tell us about some of the charity golf tournaments you have coming up.
Coming up, actually, usually when I do charity events, it happens a little bit sporadically. I've done a lot in the past. You know, last week I did a tournament for the Fresno State soccer team, playing at Copper Golf Club, and then before that I did for fundraising for animals. I do a lot in real estate. Anything that comes up, I try to say yes to as much as I can. But
nice.
obviously it's, you know, the schedule is tight, so you got to make it fit in here and there. But actually coming up, it's more focused on my own schedule and my own tournaments. But of course, if there is charity events coming up, I always try to say yes when I can.
And what's going on in August? Wasn't there something coming up in August?
In August is something called Q School. So I know everyone here is probably not familiar with golf and how that works. So Q School is basically stage one, where it's like a qualifier. It's not like a regular tournament, but let's say LPGA is the highest level for female golfers. Then by playing this event, if you make it in the top 45, you get to stage 2. And then if you make it through stage 2, which is in October, you get to play this top elite professional event against all the world's best golfers. So this tournament that I'm preparing for is basically, it's almost like a shortcut to get higher up faster, but you know, it's also, this is my first year starting off, so I know it's everything I play is for practice, and obviously golf is long term for me, and that's what I want to do. So this is just a tiny step of the journey that is, you know, happening, and I have 2 other professional events that I'm gonna attend before that, which is gonna be more for practice and get a feel for the field and just get competition practice. You know, as an top athlete, you need to test yourself and test the mental strength, you know, when you're under pressure. Yeah.
So do you go to the Olympics for golf, or is that?
So it's a journey to get there, but it's on my list of happenings, you know, of what I am trying to achieve. So obviously play the Olympics for my country. You know, 2024 is the first one coming up. So, you know, there's a selected number of people who is able to play in Olympics. I feel like for me, Olympics, it's maybe not the highest ranked golf event because golf is so big. Olympics is more, I don't know, it's more like for your country. You know, it's not about the money, it's for, you know, pride, and it's, you know, just because it's.
So would you play for them? Or you've been in the United States for a while, or can you do either one, or you can't?
I mean, I don't know, but I feel like, you know, my heart is still in Norway. You know, I might go back there with time, but you know, I feel like I'm a California girl now, and I want to be here as long as I can, just because golf is huge over here. It's you know, I met so many good
Is it a
people.
bigger deal here than over there?
It is, yeah. So we have some really good golfers from Norway, but percentage-wise, it's like nothing compared to the U.S. You know, California or just the U.S. in general is great for golf. You know, there's so many tournaments, so many beautiful courses. It's You know,
So
the
in Norwich,
weather.
there's just a few. It's like you guys all kind of know. It's very tight knit because you guys all know each other, and you have to go where there's.
And there's how people invest in money on golf courses is much bigger here. You know, back home there's less high quality courses, let's say. You know, and it's much harder to scramble the lifestyle as a golfer. You can't be there all year. You know, it's raining, it's, you know, snow.
That's right.
They got everything. So
There's not a lot of indoor golf places, or it's hard.
yeah.
Or
No, we do have indoor golf, golf centers, but that's usually how I grew up. So before I came to the U.S., only 6 months a year I could play outside.
wow.
And then 6 months I would be playing indoor, and that would be our off season, lifting weights and doing all of the physical work. And then when season starts in May, that's when, you know, we just play.
So what did your sister end up doing? The one that was teaching you how to play golf. Did she go really far with it?
She went to college too, and she played, and then life kind of happens, you know, health and everything just kind of had an impact on her, and she had to choose to step away to play to the next level. I know she also had ambitions to do so, but she does work in the golf industry, but she's back home now. You know, she's a little older than me, and at some point, you know, we females needs to figure out what do we want to do in life. When do we want to settle down?
Or travel the world playing golf.
Or travel, you know, that's my plan. I'm not planning on settling down anytime soon. I feel like I'm 26 now, but I feel like I'm 20, you know what I mean? I feel like my journey just started here,
And
like,
what about,
over again.
what's the career span for golf? Because you're a professional. Is there like a time when it's like, oh, after this age, you don't, or you can go pretty far, you can go pretty old and be
As long as my body's in shape, I can play forever.
Right, so that's something that you have some golfers that have been at it for decades, right?
Yeah. No, so I think that's one of the benefits with golf. It's not like a rush timeline.
It's
like
not football,
as a football or a gymnast, you know.
Right,
it's like,
you just have that small window, yeah.
Yeah, so actually for golfers, most people reach their peak in their mid-30s. And so from me, it's like, that gives, it helps when days are tough, you know.
Are you one of the younger golfers in the field, one of the younger ones, or?
It's just every.
There's a lot of other people your age,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just all kinds of people with different ages. Obviously, at the very top, you do have some of the older ladies, because golf is one of the sports that not everyone sees as a sport, but you're able to be, you know, 40 and compete against someone who's 18.
That's pretty cool.
You know, which is pretty cool.
That is.
You know, the age is not a factor in this game. It's more about your mental ability to stay focused, to stay calm, and just kind of have your heart in the game and just play your own game. I think that's what I love about golf too. It's just me against myself every day. I feel like, you know, like I can't control what other people are doing, you know, so even if it is competition, I feel like the environment is very uplifting in the sense, like if someone does good, it's more inspiring rather than, it can be frustrating, you know, you want to be better,
but at
the same time, it's not like you can do anything about someone else's success, right? You just have to be better yourself. So I think that's something that's that I like about golf, and like keeps me driven every day, you know, like everyone have highs and lows, and I have been through injuries and having setbacks like that during my college career, and I think I don't know, I feel like I've seen a lot during the career as a undergraduate student and playing for Fresno State golf team, and I had some really good results during my time as a college student, but I also feel like I could do better. I feel like my setbacks kind of motivated me. It was tough in the middle of it, but it has made me motivated to just kind of prove for myself that I can do much more than what I have shown already.
I love that.
So yeah, I think that's, you know, like any athlete would understand, like or even in your business, you know, there's always something that's driving you to, you know, you have to think new and, you know, practice in new ways. You have to keep challenge yourself to kind of to keep it going, you know, because in the end of the day, it's only you who's gonna help you get where you want to go, right?
Right.
But then what I also have noticed and what I love about Fresno and the community here is just they're super supportive. You know, like no matter where I go, and if I happen to tell my story, or if I, you know, like they're very involved and they want to listen, they want to hear, you know, like what is my journey, what is my experience, like where do I want to go. And I feel like I have so many people here that is very supportive of what I'm trying to accomplish, and that definitely helps, you know, along the way, you know, having that support network and having a good team that you're surrounded with, and you know, everything matters. No one can get to the top alone, right? I think you need.
I love that.
Yeah, and even you know, like this is huge,
Right.
huge support for me too. You know, like I know we see each other in the gym, we see each other push through. You know, like this is more.
I've seen you do some hard stuff without gloves that time. I was like, oh wow.
That's my least favorite exercises. The ones with my grip. I do have really good grip for golf, you know, but sometimes in the gym when the weights are heavy, you just I feel like, you know, that's a different world. But I think people just don't always see what's behind the facade, you know, like what's behind the life of an athlete.
Right.
You know, people always just see like if you do really well, or you know, all the good things that's happening, and people, you know, it's not as easy as it might seem for some people. You know, it's tough. It's a grind. It's every day you have to make choices. Like, do you choose to, you know, go out, or do you choose to get extra sleep? Do you choose to drink water? Or do you choose to drink something else? Like,
Right.
like I feel like as an athlete, you just have to make super wise choices every day. But of course, I think it's important to have balance in life. You know, enjoy. You know, that's also something that I learned during my time. I was always very dedicated and focused, and I was almost scared of being something else. I was scared of relaxing almost. And then when I had my injuries, I just kind of learned that it's okay to. I can see how you can grow still, even if you have injuries and setbacks. Is what I mean. So. It's okay to have a rest day. It's okay to take a step back, because sometimes it's going to make you move faster forward.
Right,
You know,
for
like
sure.
if you push yourself
You don't
too
want to
hard.
overexhaust yourself.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people do that, and I've done that myself many times. Like you want to, you know, you want to show your grit. You want to believe it yourself, and you do. And sometimes you push so hard that it's affecting in a different way than what the purpose
Right.
was originally, right? So no, but overall, I'm just I'm starting on a blank page almost. I feel like, even if I played golf my whole life, it's just a new chapter. You know, I feel like I'm trying to just stay positive. You know, see the opportunity in what each day bring. You know, just even when things are. You know, nothing goes exactly how it's supposed to, right? So
Well, tell everyone your Instagram. We're all going to
my
follow
Instagram,
you.
okay. So basically it's krissim.golf. That's my sports page.
And you're going to tell us what you're doing all the time, and we're going to be playing at. Like a big competition comes up.
I do have two smaller pro tournaments coming up, which is one in Texas and one in Palm Springs. The one in Palm Springs is in the end of July. It's like a prep tournament for my Q school that I mentioned. I talked a little bit about earlier. And the big tournament that I'm preparing for is Q School Stage 1. It's going to be at Mission Hills in Palm Springs, August 15th. And then until the 20th. So golf goes over multiple days. So if you're around, if you have time to stop by, you know,
Love that.
I'm always happy to see people, you know, like, you know, cheer on, you know, no matter who you are. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on my show, Kristin.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Check. Yeah. On the sparkle show. Sparkle in my eye. Roll up to the show. Looking extra fly. Like 4th of July. I'm feeling like a firework. About to set it off. About to make it work. But you do it for your fitness. and I just do it for myself. Gotta get better, so I better my health. I'm on my freestyle flow. I gotta open up any door. Got sparkle on the side, like a sparkle firework, and you know you gotta do it. Gotta put yourself first. Gotta do it now. Don't you do it in reverse. No time for a rehearsal. You know I gotta do it, so straight to commercial, then back to the show. Once again, start the show like we about to start a trend. Yeah. And Depree, what's up, y'all? Right.
I love it. Okay, so you do everything because you're doing rap, you're doing fitness.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on this year. You did a competition earlier.
Yes, I did a competition and like a couple months ago, and it went pretty good. Came in third place. Had to really put everything else on pause to fully commit to.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a process, but everything about life kind of teaches you about discipline. I feel like when you have something that structures you, like a competition, then you see what level you could take yourself to.
And how cranky you can get without food.
You get super cranky. You're not in the mood, your brain's turned off. That hanger is at the next level.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I saw you working hard. You were definitely hauling ass at the gym. And so rapping, so tell us about your music. Last time you came on actually to talk about music when we had to do virtual. So tell us about where your music career is going, because there's some cool stuff you're doing this weekend.
Yeah, so right now we're opening up for some shows. We're going to be dropping a lot more singles, a lot more music. And then from there, we're going to go from there. I mean, I'm opening up for Blueface this weekend, this Saturday, so I'm pretty excited.
So where's that at?
Have you heard of the Full Circle Brewery?
Oh yeah, I love the beer.
Yeah, so there's no actual alcohol, which I'm not a beer person, 100%. I mostly drink like tequila, if I choose anything.
I can tell by your body you don't drink a lot of beer.
Straight to the point. So, but yeah, Full Circle Brewery this Saturday is going to be crazy. Have you heard of Blueface?
Yeah, so how'd you get this gig? When did this call come about? Have you been working together for a while?
Just knocking on doors and just building relationships with certain people. So I just connected with the person that's putting on the show, and then from there I was able to get the opportunity to perform. So I'm excited. We're getting dancers. I'm doing rehearsals.
So how do we get tickets if we want to go?
If you want to go, Instagram me and I'll drop off your tickets. You have until about Friday to get tickets.
Oh, really? And then the concert Saturday?
Correct, yeah. You should go. I'll give you a ticket.
Oh, nice. Nice. How exciting. And so it's all 4th of July theme. Is there going to be some fireworks?
It's July the 2nd. So I might be the 4th of July theme. Just every show is different, but...
Well, I know people are doing fireworks kind of like Saturday, Sunday because it falls on a Monday, so I didn't know if that was it.
That would be cool. That's a good idea. I'm really trying to think of ideas to make the show as great as possible. But
well, don't burn the place down, but I mean...
I know. You know, Fresno's hot. There's a lot of fires out here, so... it's a debate. I don't know. We'll see. As far as I know right now, there's no fireworks for sure. But we'll see. You know how concerts are. They normally do have fireworks.
Right. So what else is going to go on? So this is a really big thing this weekend. What else can we look forward to seeing you in? Competition-wise or music-wise?
Competition-wise, potentially competing by the end of the year, which is September. Music-wise, my goal is to open up for some festivals, do some more shows in LA, San Diego, and just get a lot bigger by the end of the year than what I am, where my brand is right now. So.
And you're working on a documentary as well?
Working on a documentary. Don't know when that's going to be released. That's still in the process.
And is that more fitness-based or music-based, or both?
I feel like I'm a fit rapper, fit creator, whatever. However you word it. Fitness is
your life.
I think everybody should be into fitness, no matter what career. So, like, you're a fireman. You should have a fitness life if you, like, you do this show, but you're still big in the fitness industry as well. So I think fitness is just inclined, or it should be included in everyone's well-being.
So that's kind of like what the purpose of the documentary, kind of go into your world to be like, that this kind of helps structure this, and then that can help structure that.
Yeah.
And what about the water? Are you still doing the water?
100%. Yeah, gallon of water.
But no, you were creating some actual drinks and.
Oh, you're talking about Depree's juice.
Yes.
No, I'm no longer doing Depree's juice. I did not have enough time to juice all day. But that, I think, would be somewhere in the future again, when everything is just working out, like when it aligns. I think the timing, the success of the business is really good. But the timing of my own personal life, you know.
That is a lot of, it's a lot to do. So I get that. Like you might bring it back.
Have you ever made fresh pressed juice?
It's a lot of work. Yes, my dad actually back in the day was, before it became cool, was all into that, and it's like yeah.
You could juice for yourself easily, but if you start getting like 26 people, 30 people juicing, asking.
By doing it the good way, that when you do it right and fresh and all that, like it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Sheesh. You smell good though. You smell good. You smell like juice all day. Everybody's like, why do you smell so good? Because I just got done juicing. I smell like cucumbers, beets, and lemon.
You bathe in your own juices.
That's a good smell though. Like no one ever complained about someone smelling, you know.
Right.
With some good juice smells.
Well, everyone's got to follow you. Say your socials.
What's up, y'all? Emerald Depree. You guys can follow me at Emerald Depree on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it.
So follow Emerald Depree. Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so tell us about this book that I heard Elon Musk is a huge supporter of.
Well, that's the story. I haven't heard from him yet. Yeah, the book is about sustainable urban growth. It's a popular subject, but a lot of people don't really talk about it, and even fewer kind of understand. The first 4 chapters are about sustainable urban growth, and the last 4 chapters are kind of a conclusion as to how we can reach sustainable urban growth, and that's through sustainable transportation, because transportation is the foundation of all urban growth, and the book kind of talks about that.
So how did you get involved in that? Why is this such a passion project?
I've had an interest in magnets since I was a little kid. I went to school. I wanted to get a PhD in theoretical physics because I had some ideas about magnets and particle mass. So I've always carried an interest in magnets, and then when I heard about the California high-speed rail back in about '93, I started going to a lot of the meetings, because that was originally supposed to be, originally it was the California high-speed rail commission, and the commission was to do a feasibility study on high-speed rail. And they produced that around 96 or 97 or somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. They completed that commission, they had a feasibility study, and they compared steel wheel on rail to maglev technology. And that's when I got involved, started following all those meetings. And I figured one time I looked back and counted it, from about 93 till when Schwarzenegger was elected, I went to about 70% of all the meetings, wherever they were throughout the state. So I'd take off work and go to the meeting. And
so what's your take on the high-speed rail?
It's a fantasy train.
It's impossible.
There's an issue called financing, and they don't have the financing for it.
That's why it hasn't been completed.
Yeah. And in '96, Stanford did a peer study group, and by 2008 they completed that study, and in 2008 the Stanford peer study group said it was going to cost about I don't remember now, it was a long time ago, about 215 or 220 or 30, $220 billion.
Right.
So it came out on the ballot for a $9.9 billion bond, which wasn't even close to what they
needed.
said.
Yeah.
And they made up this figure of 98. There was a lot of controversy. I remember there were several meetings involved with that where they come up with the budget for it. And they said, you can't do it for $98 billion. It's just impossible. And there was a lot of arguments back and forth. And the politicians said, yes, we can. And the people, the peer study group, or the people involved in the study said, no, you can't. And the politician said, yes, we can. And okay, whatever. So it came out on the ballot in 2008 with 9.95 billion, and it was, even back then, they were going to borrow a lot of money from the federal government, and 40 billion was supposed to come from private sector, and the private sector said, there's no ROI on this. You know, there's no return on investment for $40 billion that we're supposed to put into it.
Right.
So they were totally unwilling to stand behind it, and so they've got basically $15 billion to spend right now. So they're putting that in the 116 miles from Merced to Bakersfield.
So when you say sustainable transportation, what exactly do you mean by that?
So when I got involved in, or started following the high-speed rail, I also got into, back in the late 90s, I got into advanced transit or new technology transit. And that's like maglev, magnetic levitation, PRT, which is personal rapid transit, and working with a company up in the Bay called Cybertran, which is a GRT, which is a group rapid transit. It's 20 passengers. And put together, we have a sister company up in the Bay that I'm working with. And came up with this sister company, and I came up with this 3,000-mile track throughout California, and with Cybertran as the technology. And we started that back in 2005, and we were promised money since 2008 that never came about. So, so I've gathered all this information about sustainable urban growth, about urban growth, sustainable urban growth, and then just in that process of studying and working in the industry for over 20-some years, there's a lot of stuff about green.
Right.
So there's this, soon, as soon as our website is up, there's going to be a little campaign going around that says, what's green? And so we're putting a company together called, or an organization called CATCC, C-A-T-T-C-C. That's a Center for Advanced Transportation Technology and Climate Change, CATCC.org. And that organization will basically, it helps promote this book, and it's kind of what this book is about the difference of climate change, what climate change is, what green is. It's just an explanation of sustainable urban growth and what it really means. So the thing about the first 4 chapters of the book are about sustainable urban growth, or about the history of urban growth and sustainable urban growth. And there are 4 types of land use.
Okay.
Nature, agriculture, transit-oriented design, and automobile-centric land use design. In the early 1930s, all of America, or all of Western civilization growth, was based on transit-oriented growth, which is trains, and all the towns originated from trains.
Okay.
So all the growth started at the train stations. So like you go through the valley, and if you look at the history of the San Joaquin Valley, you look from there was what they called the short haul line, which is the line that ran from basically Oakland, went through down by Fremont, and there's a little town outside of Fremont, I forgot the name of it. Then it goes over the Altamont Pass, goes through Tracy, and then south, basically along 33, through Firebaugh, through Kerman, Fresno, Sanger, Reedley, Dinuba, Visalia, Exeter, Porterville, and down to Bakersfield. And if you go on a drive some nice day, not on a hot summer day, you can actually see the old rail line that went along the eastern foothills. And it's, if you like history, it's just it's amazing to look at that. Really, really interesting. So all those towns were where the train stops were, and that's where the economy was. So the train stations were the center of economy, and so all of urban growth in Western society was based on those train stations. And then along the 30s, the cars took over, and then the trucks took over, and so all those little communities that started out as transit-oriented design no longer were functional, because all of the growth after the 1930s was changed to automobile-centric land use design. Again, all urban growth is based on its source of transportation. So that transit-oriented design growth that originated, that's what happened to downtown Fresno, was built on the streetcar. There was over 40 miles of streetcars throughout downtown Fresno. And so all of that land use design was transit-oriented, and when it transferred to automobile-centric, the land use became dysfunctional, and that's what happened to downtown LA, or downtown Fresno. Downtown Sacramento, they re-implemented the 100-year-old technology back in the 80s and revitalized all of downtown Sacramento by re-implementing the streetcar system into downtown Sacramento. So that's why downtown Sacramento works now, and Fresno's is still dysfunctional. So anyway, it's land use. So the book kind of goes into all that. So in looking at all this, the automobile is totally unsustainable. There's nothing about a car that's sustainable.
Any cars, even electric cars?
Electric cars, yeah, all cars are unsustainable. And the unsustainable aspect of cars isn't the fuel they use, it's the roads. It's the road system, it's the land use design. So to your comment about the electric cars, well, just imagine you're on a freeway and there's a traffic jam and you're in an electric car. The electric car didn't solve the issue of unsustainability. It's the road design. It's the land use design that's dysfunctional.
So how do we make it functionable?
The big question. On to book 2. But actually,
So there's not a solution to the problem. There's just an explanation of the problems.
Well, who I am, I like solving problems, and I ask questions for answers.
Okay.
So the first 4 chapters of the book go into land use and both the history of land use and sustainable land use design.
Right.
So the last 4 chapters ask a question. What can we do? It's the same question you ask. What can we do?
Right.
So in the last 4 chapters of the book, I start asking questions of what can we do? How can we resolve this? So the automobile is totally unsustainable, and there's a myriad of reasons why. It's unsustainable environmentally,
Right.
economically, and socially. One of the interesting things is most people, once you explain it, it's like, wow, okay. So I'll mention that. And that is, automobiles are unsustainable economically, And what that means is when you purchase, so you've heard the phrase buy local, stay local.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. So that means when you, so say you have a hardware store,
Okay.
and so you take your money, you go to the grocery store, you buy his groceries, and he's building some new shelves. He comes to you and buys your product from you. You go to his store and buy his product.
Okay.
And same with the farmer and the other people.
Right.
They keep those dollars local. And there's different variances to how many times that money exchanges stays local.
Right.
The very first thing you do when you purchase a car is you take whatever a car is today, $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 for a car. So what you do is you remove that. Take your flowers.
Do it.
You remove that
Okay.
from the local economy. So every time you buy a car, the first thing you do is you remove that circulating economy, you remove the money from it. Then every time you fill up the tank, now every time you fill the tank, it's $100 out of the economy. So 10 years ago, Fresno County Fresno County consumed 500,000 gallons of gasoline per day. So at $3 a gallon, that's $1.5 million per day out of the economy. At $5 a gallon,
Okay.
it's more.
Got it.
So every day at $3 a gallon, and now it's $6 a gallon. So today it's $3 million per day being extracted out of the Fresno economy every single day. Now, I thought that was a lot of money until I found out about insurance companies.
There's a whole other beast.
Insurance companies, so Fresno County has 700,000 registered vehicles.
Okay.
So you figure $100 a piece.
Just for registration.
No, for insurance. $100 a month for insurance for each
okay.
vehicle.
Got it.
And that's a lot more money than the gasoline. So,
Well, and registration. I don't think we got.
yeah. Well,
So we have that too.
Well, the registration is only $300 or $400 a year.
Is that taking money out locally though, or no?
Yeah, it goes into the California General Fund.
Okay.
So, economically, the automobile is totally unsustainable. So that's environmentally and economically, and then the social aspects. One of the interesting things about the social aspects, when I was first come to the realization of this, I had an office downtown, and I was driving to work one morning, and I was going westbound on 80, and there was another guy, he was going eastbound on 180, and we were both going southbound on 41, right there at that intersection. So I'm in the fast lane, exceeding the speed limit, and I'm doing like 70, and the speed limit's like 65. So anyway, I'm going southbound, and this guy pulls in front of me, and he's going the speed limit, but he pulled in front of me, and it was aggravating. So I went around him, and I kind of wanted to flip him off, but it's a friend of mine who's buying my lunch that day.
Oh wow, that was interesting.
And I'm like, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. Why do I get irritated?
Yeah, why do we get this way?
So then I started to look into it, and it's a thing called social isolationism. So socially, the automobile is unsustainable because it causes social isolationism. Because a lot of people, if they live by themselves, they get up, they get in their car, drive to work.
That's what we do.
And it depends if you interact with other people at the job, then you interact there, and then you get back in your car and you're alone, and then you go home alone. So there's not any social interaction. Whereas with the
Buses and trains.
The streetcars back 90 years ago, there was a lot of interaction with people. So there was a lot more social interaction with people in general. And it's, so anyway, the automobile is unsustainable environmentally, economically, and socially. So back to your question, what can we do about it? Well, cars are nice. I like cars. I go to the races every Saturday. I like race cars. And, you know, I was growing up I'm part of the car culture. I'm not anti-automobile. It's just unsustainable, and there has to be a better way. So what is that way? So to replace a car, it has to be more convenient, it has to be faster, less expensive, and safer. So,
And throwing money locally.
well,
Or is there no way that we figured out to do that?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. That's fine. Hey, this is,
So how are we going to replace a car? So again, I'm working on another book. I'm like 50 pages into it, and so I'm looking, and one of the things. Okay, I like physics a lot,
okay.
and theoretical physics especially. So there's this thing in physics called centrifugal force, and centrifugal force goes out. And there's another force called centripetal force, which goes in.
Okay.
There's this guy, an absolute genius. I mean, he's like, in my opinion, Nikola Tesla is like the greatest genius that certainly the greatest genius of the last 100 years. There's another guy who's now entered that, my opinion, of like the close second. A guy by the name of Victor Schauenberger or something, V-I-C-K-O-R, Victor.
Okay.
Victor, S-C-H-A-U-B-E-R-G-E-R.
Okay.
If you know German, you could pronounce it, but I'm no sprechen Sie Deutsch, so I don't really know how to pronounce his name. But he was a master forester, and he was like 5th or 10th generation master forester. And what he did is he went around and he noticed things. And he had this phrase he called comprehend and copy nature. So his big deal is, as much as Nikola Tesla thought about electronics and just genius level stuff, 80% of all of our modern technology is based on concepts and theories from Nikola Tesla. But this guy, Victor, is just astounding. And I just discovered him just a few weeks ago. That's why I'm like excited about it. But what he did is he says, when you look at a tree, and all growth is, it grows in.
Okay.
So it's inward. And his theory is that all outward growth is, so all centrifugal force is outward. So it's like explosions or destructive. So all outward growth is destructive, but all growth or nature is based on centripetal, the centripetal force which goes inward. So he says when you look at a tree, it always curves in. So of course I go out and I look at the trees and the flowers and everything, and they all curve in. So that's expansive. So it's expansive on, expansive nature is basically inward.
Okay.
So it's like an inward movement. It's just really interesting stuff, but
To tie this into cars.
it does tie
Okay.
into cars, because my whole base of all of this stuff that I'm looking at is gravity as a source of transportation. Because 15 or so years ago, I came up with this thing that says the future of transportation floats. Not flying, it floats. So everything has to basically be levitated. So far, there's some things, okay, you can get onto the space with that, but the only thing that floats locally is maglev technology. China is now building their 6th maglev system.
Okay.
The U.S. has none.
So is that the direction we should be going in?
Absolutely, yeah. And so the whole concept of the high-speed rail, talk to me. I mean, there's a way to make it work.
What do you think about New York and what they're doing with their subway systems and everything? Do you think that's a better model, or
The subway system was built over 100 years ago. Subways are phenomenal. I mean, look what Elon Musk is doing. His boring company is phenomenal, and he's a marketing genius.
is that's why he likes your book?
That's why the book is good for him. The second book is even better, but we haven't finished it yet, so still working on it. But it all does. So the answer to your question, I have a long way around in explaining things, but back to the solution is, and that's what the last 4 chapters of this do, is ask questions. So what can we do? What direction can we go? The direction we can go is let's study gravity. Is the simple answer.
And I think that we've always kind of been headed. That's not actually a new concept.
No, it's not.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Well, thank you so much for coming on my show.
My pleasure.
We can get this book on Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Okay, and when is the second one slated out?
When it's finished.
We're going to keep up with you. What's the best way to look at what you're doing? Facebook right now, because I know you're working on a website.
Facebook right now, there's a Catsy, I think I can get the Catsy through Facebook.
And
or
do you have
Sweeney.
Instagram or not yet?
No, I don't
That's
have
okay.
Instagram.
Facebook's fine. We are going to follow you and see what's going on, and then look for the next book. This is really fascinating, JP. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on and
Thanks
talking
for-
about this.
Thanks for inviting me.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh I must confess dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend. Playing pretend, playing pretend, ooh, playing pretend.
It's a mystery.